The Senate will now be in session. All rise for the arrival of the Honorable Senate President and the Senators of the Republic of the Philippines.
The Senate has made significant strides in championing workers' rights with the passage of two pro-labor bills last week. In a unanimous vote, Senate Bill number 2534, or the proposed 100 peso daily minimum wage hike act, was approved by the Senate on third and final reading. Senate President Juan Miguel Mix F. Zubiri, author of the measure, commended fellow senators for heeding the call of Filipino laborers to raise the daily minimum wage. He also appealed to counterparts in the House of Representatives to act on the said measure.
Kung meron po kayong puso para sa masang Pilipino, tutukan po ninyo ito. Dahil okay na rin ang ayuda na binibigay nyo. Pero mas gusto ng taong bayan na itaas ang sweldo ng ating mga manggagawa.
Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada, sponsor of the measure, hailed the passage of the measure, saying a flourishing economy relies on the vitality of its workforce, who are considered the lifeblood of enterprises.
Mr. President, let it be said that this august chamber is responsive to the needs of our kababayans, especially on the back of rising cost of living and soaring prices of basic commodities.
Under this measure, all minimum wage earners in the private sector in the entire country, whether agricultural or non-agricultural, are entitled to the increase. Aside from the proposed 100 peso daily minimum wage hike act, the Senate also passed on third and final reading Senate Bill number 2505, or the proposed Eddie Garcia Law. Voting 22-0-0, the Senate approved the measure sponsored by Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada, which seeks to protect and support movie and television workers from unfair treatment and poor working conditions.
This measure is the Senate's recognition of the immense talent, dedication, and contribution not just of Filipino artists but also those behind the camera who put their heart and soul come up with material for the movie and television industry.
Fellow artists in the Senate lauded the passage of the proposed Eddie Garcia Act. Meanwhile, celebrities gathered at the Senate to express their gratitude for the third reading passage of the measure. Senators adopted Resolution 106 congratulating and commending the artists and production crew behind the movie Rewind for its success as the highest-grossing Filipino film of all time in the recently concluded Metro Manila Film Festival 2023. Senator Robin Hood Padilla sponsored the measure. Meanwhile, the Senate passed on second reading Senate Bill number 2492, or the proposed Philippine Maritime Zones Act, sponsored by Senator Francis Tol and Tolentino, to ensure that no scammers will be able to defraud Filipino banking consumers in the long run. Senator Mark Villar, chairperson of the Senate Committee on Banks, Financial Institutions, and Currencies, sponsored Senate Bill number 2560, or the proposed Anti-Financial Account Scamming Act, or AFASA. Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada sponsored House Concurrent Resolutions 19, 20, 21, and 22, granting amnesty to members of various insurgent groups who have committed crimes in pursuit of their political beliefs. Senator Francis Tol Tolentino sought the support of his colleagues for the passage of Senate Bill number 2555 to address the legitimate concerns of innocent motorcycle riders. The bill aims to amend Republic Act 11235, also known as the Motorcycle Crime Prevention Act. The Senate began preliminary debates on Senate Bill number 2352, or the proposed Jail Integration Act, sponsored by Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Koko Pimentel III shared his insights and experience during the World Government Summit 2024 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. In his privileged speech, Pimentel enumerated the noteworthy ideas he learned during the three-day summit. Senate President Pro Tempore Loren Legarda led senators in welcoming and thanking Dr. Fitz Ulmer, descendant of Pastor Carl Ulmer, who took in national hero Dr. Jose Rizal in 1886. Senate President Juan Miguel Mix F. Zubiri sought France's support for a free trade agreement with the European Union and for the Philippines' bid to host the Loss and Damage Fund Board when he and several senators met the French Senate's Interparliamentary Friendship Group for France-Southeast Asia, led by Senator Olivier Heno at Sofitel Philippine Plaza, Manila. Zubiri welcomed French legislators and the French ambassador to the Philippines, Marie Fontanelle, during their visit to the Philippine Senate. For the first time, Senator Pia Cayetano presided over the Blue Ribbon Committee inquiry on the issues hounding the participation of the Philippine delegation in the World Health Organization Framework Convention on Tobacco Control conference held in Panama City last February 5 to 10, 2024. Cayetano fumed over the notorious Dirty Ashtray Award accorded to Philippine delegates who supposedly blocked global tobacco efforts on WHO FCTC. The Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, chaired by Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, wrapped up its probe on an election-related shooting incident in Cotabato City, which resulted in the death of 3 persons and numerous injuries last year. Senator Sonny Angara presided over the Committee on Finance hearing on the proposed abolition of the procurement service of the Department of Budget and Management and several other measures seeking to amend Republic Act No. 9184, otherwise known as the Government Procurement Reform Act or GPRA. Presiding over the Games and Amusement Subcommittee hearing, Senator Raffy Tulfo fought for the welfare and benefits of the rank-and-file employees of the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation or PAGCOR. The Senate, led by Senate President Juan Miguel Mix F. Zubiri, welcomed Richard Graham MP, the United Kingdom Prime Minister's Trade Envoy to Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Zubiri said Graham has close ties with the Filipino community, having lived in the Philippines before becoming a member of the parliament in the House of Commons. Presiding over the Third Committee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of Codes, Subcommittee on Resolution of both Houses No. 6 hearing, Senator Sonny Angara clarified that the intention of RBH 6 is to keep basic education in the hands of Filipino ownership. Senator Francis Tolentino presided over the Special Committee on Maritime and Admiralty Zones hearing on various bills seeking to establish Philippine archipelagic sea lanes. More witnesses came forward to testify against Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Apollo Kibuloy and senior officials of the church during the continuation of the Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality hearing presided by Senator Risa Hontiveros.